Well, howdy. I'm trying to find my control panel. I can't remember where they hide it here on YouTube. I'm watching the chat, so if you chat at me, I'll see it. Hey, Musical Bullet, how are you? I guess we're not on standby, huh? Welcome aboard. I am in the shop making stuff. Right now, I'm looking for the magic button in YouTube that gives me my control panel. And I don't know where it... Oh, I know where it is. Content. Lives. There we go. Control room. Found it. Yeah. Southern Idaho. Hey, Greenwood. How are you? What's going on in Southern Idaho? And what are you doing tonight? Let's see, Idaho, you're 2 hours behind me? So you're not done with your day yet, are you? It's after 5 here in southern New Hampshire. There we go. So what's going on out in the rest of the world? It was like an incredible day here in southern New Hampshire. The sun was shining, the sky was blue, it was really gorgeous. And I got to spend most of it in a conference room. It was awful. But we got the job done. It wasn't that awful. We got stuff accomplished. So, yeah, this is a completely random live. It serves no purpose other than you're in Connecticut. Yeah, of course it's dark. It's dark right now here too. Hey, did you guys get any snow down in Connecticut? Because we got this like little dusting. In fact, I was taking my son to school this morning, and it was the first time I actually saw like snow on the road. Only just after 3, stuck in the office. Well, I am happy to say that I'm stuck in the shop. I'm working on PFG stones, minis. They're on the grinder right now. I've got about 12 minutes, and then I got to go flip stones. And I may leave the stream up for the few minutes where I have to flip them. Nothing, huh? Yeah, we haven't gotten any accumulation of snow, but we got like the little warning signs. I have to say, we had like 3. We have solar panels on the roof, and we had like 3 solid days of production. It was really nice. Very happy that we made some solar electric. So anyway, that's what's going on. We have a weekend coming up, don't we? We have Thanksgiving coming up. I haven't checked the... Hey, Joel's here. 72 in Arizona. What town in Arizona? I love Arizona. We've got Thanksgiving coming up, and I haven't figured out if we're going to have a live on Sunday. Oh, you're in Chandler. What a wonderful place. So I'm bringing up my calendar, and I'm checking, and I may be able to do a live on Sunday, but it's going to be from a undisclosed remote location. So we're going to have to play it by ear and see what happens. So there you go. So let's see. Connecticut, you're off work. Arizona, you're still working. Are you guys traveling for Thanksgiving? Or are you guys staying home? For us, we're staying home, which is okay. No travel for Joel. Yeah, travel gets old after a while. Yeah. At one point we were traveling 6 hours down to Thanksgiving, and that was getting mighty old. Normally you go to La Jolla, huh? I've got good friends in La Jolla. They're a nice place. I will not miss driving on Thanksgiving. So from Chandler to La Jolla, 4 or 5 hours? Six hours. Yeah. So that's kind of what I was going through on a routine basis, and it was starting to get old with bathroom breaks. Of course. I'm going to slide my camera over here. A little trick. That will work a little better. So yeah, today was a day where I had a client visit. Oh yeah, the Sunday before. Oh yeah, anything to avoid those the peak times. It's the worst time of the year, and I am not a fan. I don't mind driving late at night, and that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. So we'll see what happens. I've got 8 minutes to go before I have to go feed the CNC machine. I think I have another message here. Let's see. I still have my BRB. So if you're just joining us, I am in the shop at Kinetic Precision, doing work right after a day of other work, and the sound of crashing surf into the cliff. Yeah. Well, you could have your family in La Jolla send it to you. You know, just hold the phone out the window. That is a really cool place, though. I like La Jolla. My buddy lives 2 blocks from the water. I mean, literally, you walk out his front door, you make a left, and you walk 2 blocks, and you're wet. And that's pretty cool. Neat. So let's see who else has joined us here. We got allegedly four viewers. So if you're watching and you're not on chat, jump on chat. So I don't know if you guys, I see some names are familiar. Musical Bullet, I don't think we've met before, unless you are on Instagram with another name. Yeah, it's not cheap in La Jolla, is it? You know what I had in La Jolla that I really liked was Hawaiian sushi. We had sushi that had pineapple, and it was great. Nick Lee, welcome aboard, sir. Or ma'am. Where are you from? think I'm going to try one other trick here. So I'm using this software called OBS, which some of you might be familiar with. There we go. Outside of Phoenix. So we have one Phoenix person. Let's see. I think I'm having trouble with this. There we go. You're out near Portland. Excellent. I like Portland. Nice place. There we go. So, I'm making an assumption that you guys know where I am. I'm in southern New Hampshire, about 1 hour north of Boston. So if I hang a left out of my town, get on the highway, and head south, I'm in Boston proper in 1 hour. Cannon Beach. Life's a beach. So, if any of you guys are part of the regular crew for the PFG Lives, and you have any questions or any topics that you want to discuss, I'm happy to do it in between CNC cycles. I've got 4 minutes before I have to go change my stones out. So did any of you folks see the latest, how many stones do I produce a day? So it really depends, and it's not per day because I don't grind every day. But we're just finishing up a batch of 8 sets of minis, 4-inch mini stones. That was started, I think I started them yesterday. Norton did not come through yet. I'm a little bit miffed. I'm hoping tomorrow to get the phone call from Airgas that my stuff is in. A couple of the back orders came in, but the big one, the one that I care about, is the 4-inch rectangular stones, and they have not shown up yet. I have a bunch of orders to fill, and that is the tall pole in the tent. What are your thoughts on G-Wizard for a CNC beginner? I think I used G-Wizard. Yeah, I'm almost positive I used G-Wizard for a while. Honestly, if you came to me, if you didn't ask me about G-Wizard, and you just said to me, hey, I'm a beginner, I want to get into CNC, what should I do? I honestly would tell you Fusion 360. Because I think you can ride Fusion 360 from first learning CNC all the way to a production shop, no problem. The other thing I like about Fusion 360 is that you could write and or modify post processors yourself. That's a huge advantage. And I swear I used G-Wizard, but it's been long enough that I just don't remember it. So take a look at Fusion 360, and if you jump through a couple of hoops, it's free, and even when it's not free, it's unbelievably cheap. I have a seat of SolidWorks. That's not cheap. and I used to pay for, what was it called? I can't remember, but an aftermarket, a plug-in for SolidWorks, and we paid $2,000 a year for the plug-in for CAM inside of SolidWorks. That same company now, because Fusion 360 came out, they have licensed their stuff. So when you go into SolidWorks now, and there's built-in CNC, that's the stuff that I was paying $2,000 a year for. And when Fusion 360 came out, and I realized what we had, yeah, CamWorks. Thank you, sir. Exactly right. When I realized what we had in Fusion 360, and I walked I felt bad because I loved the CamWorks people and the product, but I couldn't spend $2,000 a year for a plug-in instead of, at the time, $300 a year for everything. And with that, I got to go change my stuff. So feel free to pump some more questions into chat. I will be back in a few minutes. I'm going to put up the BRB, and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. We are back. Let's see what's cooking in here. Yeah, so Greenwood, get a buddy, you know, or go over to NYC CNC. They have some really good videos on the on Fusion. Also, just do a search. There's several sources of Fusion cam tutorials. Once you get rolling on it, you'll get it. But it's no more difficult than anything else, I don't think. Do I remember? Actually, I was not an Autodesk guy before, except for AutoCAD, which is really old. Okay, see gray hair. I was not an Autodesk guy before Fusion. Fusion brought me back. It's like the pendulum that swings from SolidWorks back to Autodesk. Remember, Autodesk made. Think about this. Autodesk made AutoCAD, right? So AutoCAD was the thing, and then along came SolidWorks, this crazy game changer. I'm making a little change here. So SolidWorks was a game changer, and everybody moved from AutoCAD over to SolidWorks. Then what happens some years later? Fusion 360 starts. Everybody moves from SolidWorks over to Autodesk Fusion 360. So it's like this pendulum that keeps swinging back and forth. Do I find that Fusion 360 CAD is more intuitive than SolidWorks CAD, which of course for me was CamWorks? I think CAD. Okay, you didn't ask about CAM, you asked about CAD. You know, I think they're different, but they're not like super different. So I think I'm going to have to say maybe a little more intuitive. Not much. Yeah, so Greenwood says, I've been watching Saunders and Lars Christensen videos. Perfect. That's exactly what I was going to recommend. Lars does a great job. Yeah. Isn't that always the way? They thought it was a good deal too when Autodesk bought out HSM Works. Anyway, I have SolidWorks. I keep SolidWorks going. I'm sorry, I got to move this back. This is driving me nuts. I have SolidWorks. I use SolidWorks mostly now as interface with my clients. So I have clients that use SolidWorks, so they could just do a pack and go. If you're a SolidWorks guy, you know what that means. It's basically a zip file that has everything in it, and throw it over the wall to me, and I could open it up. But as far as if I sit down to design something and make it today, it's Fusion 360. So I've moved away from SolidWorks as my starting go-to thing. Hey, Brian, welcome aboard, man. I'm just being random, which shouldn't surprise anyone. It should surprise no one at all. So if you're just joining us, I'm in the shop making PFG stones. because you guys won't let me sleep. And I'm okay with that. Oh, happy to help, Stonecraft. It's been an interesting journey in CAD and CAM, and we're very lucky. Think about it. You know, we actually have multiple directions we can go in. Uh, I think if it weren't for Fusion 360, I don't think SolidWorks would be responding the way they are, and they are responding. So, lots of good tools available to us. The thing I like about the Fusion 360, like I said, is the fact that the post processors are written in JavaScript, so you can modify the JavaScript. I think it's quiet enough. I can take these off. That feels better. I have modified my post in Fusion 360, and it's pretty cool. Like on my vertical machining center, I like to, especially if I'm running at high speed, which for me is 10,000 RPM. I like to let the speed come up and stabilize before it does anything. So I built in a delay. I made it a variable, etc. Oh, cool, Musical Bullet. I don't recognize your handle on YouTube. So, but thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, I just did. The 8-inch guys are. You don't realize how big they are until you start grinding them. They're really big. And one of the guys just ordered 8-inch stones with the bevel, so it's really fun doing I like doing the 8 inches. They're amazing. I don't often have a need for them, so the ones that I use in the shop mostly are my 6-inch stones, which are over by the grinding table, and then I got 4-inch over there. I got 4-inch over here. I actually have 2 sets of 4-inch. This is you see the little 2 dots there? This is serial number 001 of my 4-inch stones. And they're still in use. And then this is a set of 4-inch stones that's kind of experimental. When I started playing with the laser engraver, I think I used these a little bit for testing the laser engraving. That's why it's engraved all over the place. And then if I get a chip in production, whoop, it becomes mine. So there's a beveled stone that's around for when I need it. Yeah, the bevel is exactly for that, Musical Bullet. It's for doing dovetails. And the 8-inch on an 8-inch stone, this is probably somebody who's rebuilding a machine. I don't remember, and it's the perfect tool for getting in there. So yeah, thank you for your kind words. I appreciate it. The round guys started getting very popular. I actually upped my safety stock on the round stones. I grind the entire bevel. People think I'm nuts, okay? I do not cut the bevel with a saw and then grind them, or not grind them. I've seen some recipes where they get cut with a saw and it's just for clearance, so you leave it that way. All my surfaces are ground to the exact same recipe, so you could use any of them as a PFG stone, except for the ends. And if you demanded me, I would give you a special price and do the ends, but nobody's asked me to do that. So you think it's like this horrible waste to do that full grind, but remember, I have a CNC machine, so I have a special procedure for doing the bevels. I get all my numbers set up, I hit the button, and I go have lunch, and the bevel is done while I'm eating lunch or doing something else. So yeah, it takes longer, but I don't care, and it comes out molto buono. When I do the bevels, let me grab a piece as a talking point. That, you know, the thickness there of the flat on the end of the bevel is not an accident. That's actually a programmed parameter. And of course, we've been doing these 40-degree bevels, but they just come out glorious. And that surface, that beveled surface right there, is PFG. So you could use that as your PFG stone, or you could use the other side as your PFG stone. It doesn't matter. Pros and cons of 4-inch versus round. So when you say 4-inch, I assume you mean the one I just showed, right? The 4-inch rectangulars versus the round stones. They're different animals. The 4-inch rounds are pretty, they're pretty beefy and they're heavier. So the first thing on when a stone is heavy, you can make the argument that you have a little less feel to the surface, because the PFG stone is giving you feedback as to what it's feeling on the surface, and that until you experience it, it's like crazy. So the rounds are heavier. The thing that's amazing about the rounds we got to talk about that Greenwood. The thing about the rounds is when you pick them up, you're always using them in a different orientation. So that randomness is good, okay? I like that. And that means they don't get any repetitive stress syndrome. Whereas when you use your rectangular stones, you see the random markings on the edge? That was from my experiments. When you use a rectangular stone, you tend to pick them up and use them the same way. It's not a big deal, but that's a reason to like the round stones. So you were disappointed with your last order from Norton. They were supposed to have the grip and grooves. It came without them last year. So first of all, any stones that come straight from Norton are not up to my standards. Otherwise, I wouldn't be grinding them, right? Even the carbide, silicon carbide stones, I've measured them, and they're not flat. They were various shades of not flat. So the finger grooves that you refer to, look, I have a raw one. Actually, let me grab one here. So when the 4-inch rounds, okay, look like this. They're literally pancakes, and those are the most popular of the round stones, which you could make the argument that they're also cheaper, so maybe that's why. But the silicon carbide, which I'm beginning to like more and more, the silicon carbide come with the finger grooves, okay? And I got to admit, these are pretty good, but they're not flat. I have to grind them to make them PFG stones. So The silicon carbide comes with the finger grooves, and the 4-inch round aluminum oxides do not. I don't know of any other variations. The filtration system on your grinder must be interesting to you. Did you ever show some of it on Instagram? I'd be happy to show some of it on Instagram. I have shown some of it on Instagram. So I have a continuous paper filter over a coolant tank, which is pretty common, and that's running 30 micron paper or 20 micron paper. That's stage one, and then I go into a cartridge filter like this, okay, and this goes into a housing that looks like it came out of a battleship, and this is rated at 30 microns also, and that's stage two, and then it goes to the nozzle. But if you see, there's a picture I just posted on Instagram of it looks like people thought I was cleaning out a kitty, what do you call it, a litter box, but that was cleaning out some of the sludge at the bottom of where it fell off of the paper filter. I mean, I took 20 pounds of sludge out, and it's actually, see that bag right there? That has a bunch of paper and sludge in it. So that's it. That's my system. 2 stages of filtering on the grinder. Joel says, would you recommend the 4-inch round as your first KP purchase? It really depends on what you're doing. If you have like a big machine table, like well, it could be a mag chuck, although I use my 6 inches on the mag chuck on my grinder. But if you have a big Bridgeport and a big grinder, if you're always doing big flats, then yes, I think a 4-inch round would be an excellent choice. Totally fine as a first set of PFG stones. If, however, you're doing more general stuff, like I heard a sound. It's okay, I got 20 minutes. If you're doing more general stuff, like I find personally, I use 6-inch rectangular stones more than anything. I use them all over the place. The second one I use most is the 4-inch. So it very much depends. Tell me what kind of work you're doing, and I'll tell you if that makes sense. But you won't be sorry. They're gorgeous. So Musical Bullet says, I'd like to see how Norton makes them. I haven't found a decent video. From what I've heard, it's sort of a slurry that goes into a mold, and then it gets fired. It probably gets pre-fired, and then it goes in and gets fired, and then I'm guessing it gets impregnated with their oil, and then probably it gets shaped like their form of grinding. But what I have found, I've never found a flat one. Just, they're anywhere from a couple of thousandths out of flat to literally, 10 thousandths out of flat. Plus, I found the corners of the brown ones, they fall off as much as 30 thousandths. So by the time I'm done with them, they are flat. And the surface has got a whole different nature. All of yours are ground. You mean all of your stones are ground? But in the future, I will have to do them myself or have them done. Let's see if I lost the thread here. Yeah. I don't know if you bought PFG stones, Mr. Greenwood. You're welcome to. I'll make some for you. Good questions all around. The difference between a out-of-the-box Norton stone, which, by the way, is a good product, depending on what you're doing, and a PFG stone is beyond night and day. They're just totally different animals. And let's see, I have had customers come to me for regrinds, I think 3 times in my whole PFG stone career. Not very often. If you take care of them, they will take care of you. The first set I sold, I'll name names, okay? So Eddie Reese, who works for Saunders Machine Works, I think was the first official set sold. And I guess the guys in that shop found them and used them for all sorts of things. And Eddie contacted me and says, you know, I think I might need a regrind. And I said, well, send me a picture. So, and that's what I ask everybody to do if they think they're having an issue. And usually we could diagnose it. And I looked at them and I said, send those to me now. So they came back, and I think I posted pictures of before and after, and they went back to him, and they were really happy with them. But I try to, every time I learn something from a customer, I try to incorporate that knowledge on the product information page at pfg.gg. So that's constantly getting updated, adjusted, clarified. Joel says, you have a pair of 6-inch stones ground by Shark River. Oh, Shark River. He's a really super guy. I like him. I have never held his I've never held his stones. I've never held his stones in my hands. By the way, PFG stones is a trademark. So you got precision ground stones from him. Yeah, they do ring together. In fact, when I clean them, sometimes I will clean them, and if I put them together, they will ring. You gotta be careful. When they're wet, boy howdy, they will absolutely ring. Oh, you were turned on to the ground stones by your mentor 20 years ago, which is where I got them. I'd love to know what his name was. Until he died 7 years ago, that's awesome that you had such a great relationship with a good mentor. That's fantastic. Have you tried lapping after grinding? No. I don't think there's any improvement to be made after the grinding, after good grinding. If you, let me say this, hang on, I have to modify my words. When I pull stones off the grinder, they are exactly like they should be. They need no further adjustment. If I felt I needed to do something after they came off the grinder, then I made a mistake and they're going back on the grinder. I can't emphasize that enough. It's not like they come off the grinder as a roughing process and then they need anything done to them. Absolutely not. So I think that was a vigorous answer to have you tried lapping after grinding. So interesting you bring it up though. I do use a diamond lapping plate for deburring. Like I soften the edges. When you get your PFG stones, you'll notice that the edges are nice. They won't rip your fingers apart. Because when I take these things off the grinder after they've been ground, PFG ground, this will cut your finger open. So I use a diamond lapping plate. It's the only time they have any post-processing, but not on the flats, just on the corners, and they get kissed on the corners. So, but that's not what you were asking, was it? Ah, Joel, that's the nicest thing. Joel says, I'm just a hobbyist who wishes to support people like yourself who share so much. Thank you, Joel. That's very kind. I saw your quotes. I just had to say it out loud. Awesome. Um, yeah, the term PFG stones is a trademark. Anyway, thank you, Joel. Appreciate it. I joke with some folks that it's a business I accidentally started. So it was back in 2017, I think, when I made my first. In fact, I made not. I made a set of stones. I made this exact set of stones that I'm holding in my hands. Okay, set number one. And I posted a picture on Instagram, and 7 guys said, "Are you selling those? Are you selling those? Are you selling those? Are you selling those?" Well, when 7 guys ask you if you're selling them, what is the correct answer? Yes, and that's how the business started. No, so if your stones need reconditioning, well, this is what I tell all of my customers. Okay, if you purchase stones from me and you contact me and say I think they need reconditioning, I would ask you why, and I would tell you to send me a picture. If somehow they need reconditioning, they come back here, they get ground. Okay, they get the original recipe put back on them, and they go back out. I don't believe that's how I would do it. I wouldn't start messing around with lapping. I mean, you could, I suppose you could do that. Everything could be lapped, but yeah, I don't know a better way to do it. Yeah. So the other interesting thing is the stones I just showed you, those 4-inch stones, which was serial number 1. They're still going strong. I don't know if I ever reground them. I have reground stones as experiments as I developed the recipe, which has changed. This is like Colonel Sanders' recipe. As I developed the recipe, I would do experiments. So some stones have been reground, but I literally have been running stones for years, and they do not need any attention. Off topic. Oh, Brian says that's not off topic. Oh, I see. Off topic / revisited grinding my surface grinder chuck after lessons. Great results. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, the video on grinding the chuck was very popular. It's very popular, and I'm very happy I shared that. And the reason I shared that was all the questions. I got questions about grinding the chuck. So when you get a bunch of, my attitude is as somebody who is a content creator and sharer of information, when you get a bunch of questions about something, there's a message there, and the message is you need to make a video about this. So that's what led to the recent chuck grinding video. And I incorporated as much as I could from all my teachers, all my mentors, and it came out pretty good. Now, the thing, I only got to about 2/10 on this last grind, and I have to tell you, and I'm only telling this to you guys because we're talking to each other, right? I was a little disappointed. I might do another grind with a few tweaks to the recipe, little tweaks, but I might do another grind. But right now, from a practical standpoint, I'm rolling. And the other thing was, it wasn't an all-day event. It was an hour and 40 minutes. Yeah. So Greenwood brings up loading of stones from soft materials. So I've been thinking a lot about that, and thinking of ways we could prevent that loading. When, the cleaning of the stones that we recently recommended, the cardboard and WD-40 technique, it works so good, I can't believe it. So I would recommend doing that. Also, try this for me, Greenwood. Try WD-40ing the surface you're going to stone, and tell me if that reduces loading. Right now, this is a theory I've been rolling around in my head because I got a feeling that will help, and if that will help, then we'll spread that around. Okay? You'll be placing a Christmas order this week. Well, dude, thank you very much. You got to go. Listen, let me give you a hint, Joel, if you're still listening. If you want a Christmas order, the thing I have in stock right now is 6-inch stones. I think I have 4 sets of 6 inches unclaimed, okay, ready to go. So if you want something for the holidays and you order 6-inch stones today, I can guarantee they'll go out tomorrow. But I'm playing catch up right now with 4-inch minis and 4-inch rectangulars. Thank you very much for your kind words, Joel. I got 9 more minutes. Happy Thanksgiving to you. I'm doing good here. So when these stones come off the grinder, I think I'm going to be shutting down because I have to go pick somebody up. So, yeah, we teach degreasing before stoning. Let me. Okay, thank you, Joel. So we teach degrease your surface. Clean and dry, condition your stones, and then go in and do your stoning. That is standard practice. The reason I bring up the WD-40 is that we use WD-40 for the cleaning process with the cardboard, so you're not going to hurt the stone, right? WD-40 is not going to make the stone dirtier. Here's the problem. Guys have been... we've had some folks ignore the cleaning step. So they're just going in and they go walk up to a surface and after a while their stones get ugly. And then you have to clean them. And what do we do for cleaning them? Cardboard, WD-40, do the thing, and they come out great. So I'm thinking maybe the WD-40 will help prevent the soft material loading, especially on aluminum. And if it does, it's no harm, no foul, right? Because how would you clean the stones? You would use WD-40 and cardboard. So give it a shot. The thing I want to hear, the most valuable thing is, does it help on aluminum? This is an ongoing question, and I really would like to know. You know, our knee-jerk reaction to aluminum is to use silicon carbide. I'm not sure that's the answer, because especially the silicon carbide stones. Well, actually, the coarse stones are pretty good. But I think I would really like a solution to the aluminum loading, and I haven't had time to experiment. So if you're doing a lot of aluminum stoning, try WD-40 and tell me what happens. You're not going to hurt anything, that's for sure. Well, believe it or not, we're coming up on an hour here. This is crazy. Not that we haven't gone much longer than that, but I will probably leave this stream up until I have to skedaddle. So that means even if I go switch these stones out, I'm not sure. I may have to finish those stones. I'm not done, but I'm done with the major faces on these, and then I don't think I could continue because I have to go drive to Boston and pick someone up. So let's see if I got to pick somebody up. 8. I got to leave here at 7. So, well, there you go. I have another, I got another half hour I could hang in here. One of the problems with OBS is it does not tell me how many people are watching. Whereas if I go over to the YouTube site, it will tell me that. So let's see if I can do that. I think I just heard the magic noise that tells me, yep, it's done. So I got to go check on Stones here. But let me do a quick check on viewers. Yeah, we got 7. It looks like 7 viewers right now. So, if you'll forgive me, I'm going to go check on the Stones, and I will be right back. I'm going to put up the BRB, and I will BRB. And I'm going to mute you, and I'll be right back. And we're back. So I am back, wrapping up the Stones that are on the machine. I think I'm done for the night. Well, I might come back later and finish grinding, but I think I'm going to wrap things up for now and go do my dad Uber mission. So if you guys have any good questions, yeah, I'm sorry, Brian, I figured it out too late. I fixed it. Please tell me you hear me now. I was a jerk. Yeah. So give me some questions. Let's keep this going for as long as we got questions, and then I'm going to wrap it up and go have some dinner. That'll learn me to mute the mic. I should just leave it open, let you guys hear the shop noise. I wonder what our lag is. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Brian. We can't all be professionals. Jim Zeman. Yeah, man, I'll tell you, a good mentor is a wonderful thing. Well, you were very fortunate to have Jim, so that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. My biggest fan in the shop, well, there's a couple of them, but my dad was just, a big rah go team when he was alive. He really enjoyed hearing about the shop work. My friend and mentor, John Moore, was an awesome machinist, toolmaker, grinder hand. He was fantastic. So I learned a lot from him, and he's still encouraging me from afar. He's down in South Carolina. So if you guys have any questions, pop them in the chat. I'm going to go put these back in their appropriate drawer. I'm really hoping I get that call in the morning from my supplier. I'm just checking email here, hopefully. No, nothing there. Nah, we did not luck out today, so hopefully tomorrow. Sorry, I'm just checking. I'm just checking messages which have been coming in while we're talking here. I should not follow buy, sell, trade machinist tool channels. It's very dangerous. All right. Well, I don't think we have any questions coming in, so I think I'm probably going to wrap it up here. And thanks for hanging with me in the shop. Like I said, if I do a live this weekend, you guys are the first to know this. It'll probably be remotely, but I'll have my phone, I'll have my laptop, should be able to do it. No problem. So, of course, I won't be in the shop, so I won't have the toys. Yeah, Wes. I've never met Wes, but I really enjoy having him as one of the followers and one of the viewers, and he's an awesome dude. He's a regular. He's a very regular on Sundays. All right, it's official. I'm gonna wrap it at 6:30, so it's 6:27 right now, plus lag. So there's a small possibility we'll do another random late tonight, but probably not. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Brian. I really appreciate it. I wish everybody a very happy, very peaceful Thanksgiving with their families. Some people won't be able to be with their families, so I still wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. My wife said to me, my wife makes this amazing cheesecake, and she said, "Is it okay this year if we don't have pumpkin pie, but we have pumpkin cheesecake?" There's only one correct answer to that question. I said, yes. So we're going to have this amazing creation of pumpkin cheesecake. I will report back. Maybe on Sunday I'll give you a full report. With that, Roger that, Greenwood. Well, thanks for being here. And I appreciate you checking in on the Random Live, which was random and will happen again at a random time. Have a great night. It's the bottom of the hour, and I'm going to shut her down. Take care, guys. Peace.